Good morning. Good morning. Or if you don't think it's good, just morning. Hope you're having a good day. Welcome back to Bookie Monsters. My name is PK, and on this channel, we look at the new releases that are being set into the wild every morning, each week, and we look at them genre by genre. On Mondays, we look at cozy mysteries because there's always a lot of them, and we can see what is actually being released each week. Oftentimes, the other genres don't even list what's coming out until release day, which is Tuesday. So we're always guaranteed to look at the new releases of Cozy Mysteries on Mondays. That's why we do that. Tuesdays, we look at mysteries and thrillers. Wednesdays, we look at romance. Thursday, like today, we look at fantasy and science fiction. And Fridays are the catch all for others, or if we're doing a readathon or things like that. Today is Thursday, February the 22nd, 2024. So it's 2/22/24 today. Hope you're having a good day. We are, sorry. Uh, some mornings I have plenty of time, and usually I have prepped things the night before. Other mornings I am running around and I slide into the seat here to get going. And this is one of those days. And usually that kind of day that I have not prepped the night before, which is also this kind of day. So we will be winging it. Quick announcements. We do have sprints tonight at 6:05 Mountain Time, 8:05 Eastern. They'll go for 2.5 hours. The sprints after that will be on Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern. Let's start with here. Night for Day by Roselle Lim. For a fantasy, it's only 345 pages. Shock. Two people destined to be together, but to never see each other again. Fight against the greatest odds in this powerful and moving fantasy novel. Blah, blah, blah. So romantasy. Exes Ward Dunbar and Camille Bouhet thought they would never see each other again. They had broken up to pursue their dream jobs on the opposite sides of the country, her to New York City and him to Los Angeles. But years later, they unexpectedly reconnect in London, where they are interviewing for similar jobs. The spark they feel when they meet again is palpable. The attraction comes back like muscle memory, reminding them of what they had lost. When Ward and Camille discover they both got the job working opposite shifts, they vow to give their relationship another try. Ward starts the day shift and finds the immortal clientele unusual and dazzling. I was wondering, where does the fantasy come in here? When he clocks out at the end of the day, he finds the door locked and himself trapped in the building. After a horrific first night shift contending with restless spirits and ghosts, Camille is also unable to escape. In their respective prisons, they discover that they're able to talk to each other a few minutes before dawn. This fleeting encounter incites longing for each other, but their promise to be together feels impossible because they are caught in the middle of a war of the gods and their choices will determine the outcome. Son of Blood and Ruin by Marilee Lairs. Good morning, Deborah. How you doing? Hope you're having a good Thursday so far. This is first of the Sun and Blood and Ruin series. Rumor has it on the streets of 16th century New Spain, there's a new vigilante in town serving justice. This reimagining of Zorro got my attention. Featuring a heroic warrior sorceress, weaves Mesoamerican mythology and Mexican history 2 decades after the Spanish conquest in a swashbuckling historical debut fantasy with magic, intrigue, treachery, and romance. I am intrigued. A new legend begins. It's 16th century New Spain. Witchcraft is punishable by death. Indigenous temples have been destroyed, and tales of mythical creatures that once roamed the land have become whispers in the night. Hidden behind a mask, Pantera uses her magic and legendary swordplay skills to fight the tyranny of Spanish rule. To all who know her, Leonora de las Casas Tlazoltzin never leaves the palace and is promised to the heir of the Spanish throne. The respectable, law abiding Lady Leonora faints at the sight of blood and would rather be caught dead than meddle in court affairs. No one suspects that Leonora and Pantera are the same person. Even Leonora's charade is tragically good, and with magic running through her veins, she is nearly invincible. Nearly. Despite her mastery, she is destined to die young in battle, as predicted by a seer. When an ancient prophecy of destruction threatens to come true, Leonora, and therefore Pantera, is forced to decide surrender the mask or fight to the end. Knowing she is doomed to a short life, she is tempted to take the former option. But the legendary Pantera is destined for more than an early grave, and when she discovers the truth of her origins, not even death will stop her. I wish they had switched it to a female. Not that I'm against female main characters, but Zorro to me is just Zorro. And yes, I know this isn't Zorro, but it's Zorro-esque. Um, but speaking of Zorro, Tyrone Power in the Zorro movie. Oh, love it. But yes, that one has intrigued me. I will check out further. Yeah, we don't do horror. The Bezel by Cory Doctorow. Second in Martin Hench, possibly duology. The year is 2006. Well, that's in the past. Martin Hench is at the top of his game as a self employed forensic accountant, a veteran of the long guerrilla war between people who want to hide money and people who want to find it. He spends his downtime on Catalina Island, where scenic imported bison wander the bluffs and frozen reheated fast food burgers cost $25. Wait, what? When Marty disrupts a seemingly innocuous scheme during a vacation on Catalina Island, he has no idea he's kicked off a chain of events that will overtake the next decade of his life. Martin has made his most dangerous mistake yet, trespassed into the playgrounds of the ultra wealthy and spoiled their fun. To them, money is a tool, a game, and a way to keep score, and they've found their newest mark, California's Department of Corrections. Secure in the knowledge that they're living behind far too many firewalls of shell companies and investors ever to be identified, they are interested not in the lives they ruin, but only in how much money they can extract from the government and the hundreds of thousands of prisoners they have at their mercy. A seething rebuke of the privatized prison system that delves deeply into the arcane and baroque financial chicanery involved in the 2008 financial crash, The Bezel is a sizzling follow up to Red Team Blues. I am also interested. Twice Lived by Joma West. I don't know, something says check the date. We're okay? All right. Torn between two families and two lives, a troubled teen must come to terms with losing half their world. Two worlds, two minds, one life. There are two Earths, perfectly ordinary and existing in parallel. There are no doorways between them, no way to cross from one world to another, unless you're a shifter. Canna and Lily are the same person, but they refuse to admit it. Their split psyche has forced them to shift randomly between worlds, between lives, and between families for far longer than they should. But one mind can't bear this much life. It'll break under the weight of it all. Soon they'll experience their final shift and settle at last in one world. But how can they prepare both families for the eventuality of them disappearing forever? Interesting. And I believe that was the last on this website, yes. Gonna start closing down some tabs here. Don't need them all. Had to get my coffee. Yes, coffee is required. All right. Now these sometimes have incorrect release dates, so we will have to check. Yep, that one came out in January. Here's one. We've got one! The Girl in the Forest, second of 2 of the Sentinel Falls trilogy. Okay, how can it be? Well, never mind. Second in the trilogy by Sue Wilder. The world burned beneath the rage of the queens. The kings trampled the remains into the mud, and the truth in that was a roaring in my ears. I feared the day when he understood the truth, that what we felt might not be love, but it was certainly rage. We were the perfect lovers. We were passion. We could be we could be destruction. The dread lord and the fail. He wanted to save me. I wasn't sure he could. Danger and passion reach new heights as Noah and Grayson fight their fate and threat from an ancient queen who could destroy their world. But even with Grayson at her side, Noah may not be able to save those she loves. A richly woven tale of love entangled in political intrigue and a struggle for survival, where alliances shift and what exists might be irrevocably changed. The Girl in the Forest is book 2 in the Sentinel Falls trilogy, perfect for fans of romantic fantasy, blah, blah, blah. That is all the rage these days. I want a quest. I like fantasies with quests. For that, we need coffee. A big slug of coffee. That just stab me. I don't know. Let's double check this came out earlier. Relight my fire. January. Well, if anything, you're getting a glance at some books you might be interested in otherwise, even though they might not be released this week, but we're just not going to go into in depth. That was earlier. Checking the release date. Lots and lots and lots of words here. February 1st. We looked at that one already. Oh, dear God. Just from that title alone, I hope this is something that we can look more into. January. Shoot. Potato a day keeps monsters away. That's funny. January. I thought so. January. Well, we are not having great luck there. Let's try over here. I thought we had a bunch of like fantasy romance. One comes out in April. A Tempest of Tea. Here's one. Of course, this is jumping on the train of Divine Rivals, looks like. This is by Hafsa Faisal, First in Blood and Tea series. Author of We Hunt the Flame. I'm familiar with that title. This is going to be a duology of romance and revenge. Led by an orphan girl willing to do whatever it takes to save her self-made kingdom. In the streets of White Roaring, Arthi Casimir is a criminal mastermind and collector of secrets. Her prestigious tea room transforms into an illegal bloodhouse by night, catering to the vampires. I'm out. Feared by society. But when her establishment is threatened, Arthi is forced to strike an unlikely deal with an alluring adversary to save it. She can't do the job alone. Calling on some of the city's most skilled outcasts, Arthi hatches a plan to infiltrate the sinister glittering vampire society known as the Ethereum. But not everyone in her ragtag crew is on her side, and as the truth behind the heist unfolds, Arthi finds herself in the midst of a conspiracy that will threaten the world as she knows it. Dark, action-packed, and swoon-worthy. And we're just scanning. I'd have to go back to Cozy Mysteries just to round out the day here. All right, let's check this out. Yes, we can do this one. What I smiled was her deadliest enemy or her greatest love. That seems to be all of fantasy these days. This is Heartless Hunter, first in the Crimson Moth series by Kristen Ciccarelli. On the night Rune's life changed forever, blood ran in the streets. Now, in the aftermath of a devastating revolution, witches have been diminished from power rulers to outcasts ruthlessly hunted due to their waning magic, and Rune must hide what she is. Spending her days pretending to be nothing more than a vapid young socialite, Rune spends her nights as the Crimson Moth, a witch vigilante who rescues her kind from being purged. When a rescue goes wrong, she decides to throw the witch hunters off her scent and gain the intel she desperately needs by courting the handsome Gideon Sharp, a notorious and unforgiving witch hunter loyal to the revolution, who she can't help but find herself falling for. Gideon loathes the decadence and superficiality Roan represents, but when he learns the Crimson Moth has been using Rune's merchant ships to smuggle renegade witches out of the Republic, he inserts himself into her social circles by pretending to court her right back. He soon realizes that beneath her beauty and shallow facade is someone fiercely intelligent and tender who feels like his perfect match. Except, what if she's the very villain he's hunting? That is a gorgeous cover. Look at that. That is gorgeous. And scanning. I think we already looked at Island Witch. On Tuesday. We'll double check it though. Yeah, we did. All right, let's check this one. Made of Stars. This is young adult. Came out last year. Part of me has to make the switch when I see 2003 and think, oh, nope, that's not this year. Western. Look at that one. I think I read the first one in this series. Maybe. No, but I'm familiar with it. But yes, we can look at it. This is Only Hard Problems by Jennifer Estep, third in the Galactic Bonds series. Problems, problems everywhere. My name is Zane Zimmer. To most folks, I live a seemingly charmed life as a regal lord and the heir apparent to the powerful, wealthy House Zimmer, and the gossip casts breathlessly follow my every swaggering move across the archipelago galaxy. I'm also a powerful scion capable of telekinesis, telepathy, and telepathy, and my deadly skills and prowess with my storm sword have made me the golden boy of the arrows, the Imperium's elite fighting force. But even golden boys have bad days, and the truth is I have more hard problems than I can solve. The tech wave is building weapons to use against the arrows in hopes of toppling the Imperium and taking over the galaxy. But even more worrisome is the fact that my old rival, Calderon, has a powerful new ally in Vesper Quill. Together, the two of them might just destroy everything I've sworn to protect. I'm supposed to be relaxing with the other regals during the summer solstice celebration, but when an enemy threatens the festivities, I'm forced to leap into action. As an arrow, I'll do whatever it takes to protect my family and the other regals, even though my actions will cause only more problems and just might end up being the death of me. No, I've not read this series, but I have read a spy series by her. But that is all we have time for. At least we made it. We found some things to look at. It was looking pretty bleak there. Alrighty. Well, hope you have a very good day. Again, tonight we do have sprints at 6:05 Mountain Time, 8:05 Eastern. Sometimes I start a little earlier than 6:05 my time because if traffic goes in my favor, I try to jump on sooner and so forth. So hope you have your notification bell tabbed. But also, if you want to, please hit the like button and subscribe. So it helps me out. It helps you out. Dustin, I picked up the Canopy Keepers a couple days ago. Sounded interesting. Oh, neat. Let us know. Dustin said, "Good morning," by the way. Good morning. Welcome. This is why I do it. I don't, there's no way to know everything that's out there, and you never know what's going to be a good read for you unless you look at everything that's out there. And I read all the genres that I look at. I read cozy mysteries. I read mysteries. I love historical mysteries. I read some romance and I read sci-fi fantasy, but you don't know what's out there unless you look at it. Find new authors because if you find an author, you read that book, and then oftentimes you have to wait a year for the next book. So you have to find another author, and so on and so on. So nobody is looking at the new releases. And so I had to do it myself, which is okay because I like it. So I hope you have a good Thursday and hope to see you tonight. Tomorrow we are going to probably be looking at more cozy mysteries, but whatever else catches our fantasy. So, as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom, nom, nom. Have a good day and God bless.